Hi everyone, it's Karen here. Thank you so much for being here for your yoga practice today. We're going to move through a very grounded sequence to bring some energy up from the ground. Then we're going to flow a little bit, and then we're going to come back down to the ground and do some long, deep holds. So if you have a block, that would be really helpful. And if you have a strap, that would be also really helpful. And if you don't have either of these things, you can use what you have around the house, or maybe you want to invest in getting a simple yoga block and a strap. If you don't have a strap, grab a belt or something that you can use for a strap. And then we're going to start today on our back. So take a moment to get yourself onto your back. And relax your arms down by your sides and just let your feet relax open. We're going to start with some breathing just to really settle ourselves down into the support of the ground underneath us. So just take a moment first to feel all those points of contact with the floor. Feel the hips and the shoulders and the heels settle down into the floor. Just start to become aware of the element of the ground here, creating this experience of feeling supported. And then bring both hands to your lower belly. And we'll start by taking a deep breath into the lower belly, feeling the lower belly rise up with your breath. And then exhale, feel your belly fall. And we'll take several deep breaths like this, inhaling to feel your lower belly rise and expand. And exhaling to feel the belly fall. And find your own rhythm here. See if you can feel the breath beginning to expand a little bit deeper into your hands as you inhale. And just allow for that slight contraction as you exhale. And maybe you start to feel that as you exhale that air out, you feel bit by bit a little bit more settled into the floor. That's holding and supporting all of your weight. And keeping your right hand on your lower belly, now bring your left hand all the way up to your upper chest. And we'll take a few more breaths here, this time inhaling through the belly and letting the air expand all the way into the rib cage, feeling that slight lift through the rib cage and chest, all the way up through the throat, and then exhaling again. And settling and feeling the ground underneath you. Inhaling to expand the belly, inhaling to expand through the torso and the chest. And exhaling all the air out, all the way slowly down through the space of the belly. Feel that slight contraction. And finding your own rhythm here, feel your breath becoming deeper, more expanded with each breath. And you may feel that calming effect of the ground underneath you, letting yourself just settle into that experience of being supported. And then bring your hands to your rib cage, so on either side of your ribs. And take a moment to feel the expansion of breath here in the rib cage, taking a big breath in, feeling the ribs widen and expand on your inhale. And then again, exhaling, feeling that slight contraction in. Letting all the air out. And take a couple more like that on your own. Inhaling, the ribs expand. Exhaling, slight contraction. Again, and bring your hands now underneath your body. So right on your lower back. So just cupping underneath your body and your lower back. This is the area of your kidneys and your adrenals. And just while cupping the area of the kidneys and adrenals, go ahead and bend both knees so that your feet are now on the floor underneath you. And feeling that connection of the feet into the ground underneath you. As you inhale, imagine that you're drawing that energy from the ground up through the legs and into that space of your kidneys and adrenals. This energizing. And then exhaling again, feeling that slight contraction and just feeling supported by the ground. Inhale, drawing that energy of the ground up through the legs, into the adrenals and the kidneys. And exhaling. Take one more big breath here. Releasing completely on your exhale. Very nice. And then go ahead and extend the legs again. Have your strap nearby. And with your arms down by your side, just draw the toes upwards so that the feet are straight. And then we'll just flex and point the toes a few times. So flexing, pointing the toes, starting to loosen up the ankles, and just feel how the legs start to get activated here as you just point and flex the feet. Good, and then flexing the feet, start to bring the knees in towards your chest. And just hug the knees in for a moment, drawing the knees in, feeling the sacrum really grounding into the mat underneath you. And then bringing your hands on your knees so that you're holding your knees here with your hands. Straighten the arms to begin with. Draw your tailbone down towards the mat underneath you. And on your inhale, pull the knees in. And then on your exhale, really use resistance to press the knees away, but using the hands to create some resistance. And you might feel the legs here starting to tremble with that effort. And that's good. We're starting to bring some charge into the legs. Bring some charge into the area of the pelvis and the sacrum. So inhaling and releasing the knees in towards the chest. And with your exhale, keep the feet flexed and press away into the hands. And moving really slowly here, feel how this is requiring the energy of your lower back and your sacrum and your pelvis, and pressing into the hands, really charging up the legs. One more, inhaling and just softening, and then exhaling. Really pressing into the hands enough that you start to feel that trembling and charge through the legs. And then if you've got your strap nearby, use your strap. Bring it around the knees, the legs, hold on. We're gonna do that one more time, and this time allow the feet to come all the way down to the ground on our exhale. So inhaling, drawing the knees into the chest. And then exhaling, pressing down and away, creating that trembling, and then just loosening your hold on the strap as you very slowly, with resistance, draw the feet all the way down until they touch the mat. And then just completely release, set the strap aside, and just feel that experience in your body of having just completely let go through the legs. Or looking for that moment of just completely releasing now into the ground. And you might feel some activation through the legs, through the pelvis, and just feeling into that for a moment. And then on your next inhale, start to bring the feet off the ground just a couple of inches, and see how that activates everything in the lower body, through the legs, through the core. Hold it here for a moment, just feel that activation. And then with your exhale, just let the feet again relax down onto the ground. And relax and feel into that experience of just letting down, dropping down into the ground. Feeling that support of the earth underneath you. Great. And then bringing the hands down. So the fingertips are facing towards your heels, and then maybe move the heels in a little bit so that the fingertips are just grazing the back of the heels. We're going to take our bridge pose, keeping the hands down on the ground. And again, we're using that energy of the ground to really fire up through the core, through the lower body, to really bring in and charge up that energy from the ground. So inhaling, press the feet into the ground and lift the hips up high. Really activate through the legs, activate through the feet. Press the hands down into the ground. And as you exhale, we're going to come down very slowly, as if you're coming down vertebrae by vertebrae. With your exhale, slowly, slowly, until you feel the sacrum and then your tailbone come down onto the ground. And then just allow for that dropping down, feeling in to that support of the ground. And let's take one more. Take an inhale breath. Press through the feet. Inhale, lift the hips up towards the sky. Squeeze through your inner thighs, press into the ground. Really feel the legs activated. Take another deep breath here. With your exhale, just feel that energy down through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, upper back, middle back, lower back, sacrum. Feel the tailbone come down, and then feel that let down and just release completely down into the ground. Take a moment, just experience in your body that letting down into the ground. Feel that charge that we're starting to build through the legs, through the lower body. Good, and now extend your left leg out in front of you and flex through your left foot so your left leg stays active. And then reach and grab for your strap. Bring your knee in towards your chest, so the right knee in. And reach around and place the strap on the foot. And then use the resistance again of your foot against the strap to just press up through the heel until the leg is at a 90-degree angle. So you want it straight up so the heel is right over the hip, and flex your foot a little bit here. And then let's just use the strap to warm up the foot. So warming up the whole foot here, creating some heat, some charge here in the foot. And then let the strap just rest right at the arch of the foot. And keeping that nice 90-degree angle through the leg. Keeping the left leg straight and flexed and active. We're going to inhale and bend the knee, keeping the foot flexed. So inhale, bend. And then on the exhale, we're going to press up through the heel to straighten the leg. And again, you're going to feel that trembling and charge in the leg as you create the resistance. And you don't want to straighten all the way, come to about 90%. Feel that charge. And then again, inhale to bend. And exhale. Press into the strap. Create the resistance, create the charge. Charging up the legs here. So we can allow that energy to come through the legs. Good, and again, inhale. And do this really slowly until you really experience that charge and that trembling that you're building here through the legs. So that shaking and trembling is good. That's what you want. Inhale. Exhale. You use a lot of resistance, so the arms are really working here to create that resistance in the body. Very good. And once you've come here with the legs straight again, just start to feel that let down again through the leg. So feel the leg just drop down towards the hip. And then taking the strap in your right hand, releasing your left hand. Keep your left leg active. We're going to let the leg just drop over to the right. So the left arm comes out to a T. And keep your left hip down on the ground. And just allow the right leg to come all the way out to the side. It's really using the strap here. And then energetically hug your tailbone into center so that it doesn't splay off to the right, but really hug it into center. So everything is hugging into the center, to the core of the body.
And just allowing yourself to just drop into this pose, left leg active, hugging into the center. You feel like you're drawing your tailbone down towards the back of your body, down towards the mat. So you're honoring that natural lumbar curve in your spine, and then hugging all that energy into the center of the body. We're activating through the core, through the root chakra here. Charging up through the legs. Good, and then very slowly bring the leg back up to center. And switch hands, so now the strap is in the left hand. Release your right arm out. And we're going to let the leg cross over the body to the other side. And now as you do this, you're going to allow again for that natural curve in the spine. You're going to draw the tailbone towards the back of the body. So the right arm out to a T, and start to feel your right hip dropping down towards your left foot. Really feel that activation, stretch in the hip. Tailbone pressing down through the back body. And you feel and allow for that nice natural lumbar curve of your spine. Now you can even let your left extended leg just drop over to the left. And press your foot into the mat. So pressing that foot down, creating a little bit more traction there. Remember that right hip pressing down towards the foot. And the tailbone releasing towards the back body. So nice curve here in the spine. And then breathe and allow yourself to just drop into this pose. And you might continue to feel that charging up sensation through the legs, a little bit of trembling in the legs. See if you can feel that you can just land here in the pose, really feeling the support of the ground underneath you. And continuing to breathe. And then slowly, very slowly take your time to bring your right leg back up to center. You can use your hands now to create a slight deeper stretch through the hamstring if you like. You're continuing to draw the tailbone down, so instead of lifting the tailbone up, continue to ground the tailbone down into the earth. And then very, very slowly start to let your right leg drop all the way down. So using the strap, coming down nice and slowly. Until the right leg reaches the ground, and then release. Release your strap. And just feel into that right leg and notice how that right leg feels now. Taking a moment just to notice sensation in the body through the right leg. And then we'll switch sides. So extending your right leg out and flexing your foot. Bring your left knee into your chest. And then use your strap right at the arch of the foot. And as you flex through both feet, start to press the heel up towards the ceiling until you're bringing the leg parallel. And then use the strap to just start to warm up the foot from front to back, just creating some heat, some sensation in the foot. And then bring the strap right at the arch of the foot. And we'll do that on the left side, inhaling to bend the knee. And then exhaling to press the heel. Create resistance as you straighten the leg. And make sure you don't straighten the leg all the way so you don't lock the knee out, because that'll just take the charge away. You want to go about 90%. So inhaling to bend and exhaling to extend. And again, you're looking for that charge. So nice and slow, creating resistance with the strap. What we're doing here is we're opening up the channels of the legs so that the legs can really receive the energy coming up from the ground. And we'll take this into standing in a few moments. Waking up and activating those energetic channels in the legs and in the feet. Inhale to bend. Do one more. Exhale. Create that resistance. Feel that trembling in the body. Good, and then straightening the leg. Keep the right foot flexed and active, and right arm out to a T. Draw your left leg out to the side. And just ground yourself here in this pose. And again, keeping that right hip down towards the ground. Drawing the tailbone down towards the back body, allowing for that lumbar curve, but really hugging that tailbone into center. So you're consolidating through the core of your body here, hugging everything in, breathing. And let yourself just drop in. Good. And then bringing the foot very slowly up through center. Switching hands. So your right hand to the strap, left arm out, and very slowly let your left leg drop down and over now across the body. And again, that right foot can now just almost dig into the mat underneath you. That is also going to create some traction for you. Drawing your left hip down towards your right foot. Allowing that nice, natural lumbar, lower back curve of your spine. Your tailbone drawing down, releasing towards the back body. Towards the mat underneath you. Feeling into that charge and then just settling down into it. Continuing to breathe deeply here, breathing in, big, expansive breaths. Breathing out. And then slowly guiding your leg back up. And if you'd like to draw the leg back, creating more of a hamstring stretch here. Keeping the tailbone down towards the ground. And then very slowly letting your leg come back down towards the ground. Really slowly with control here, continuing to flex through that foot. As you let the foot eventually land down on the ground. And then releasing the strap, letting yourself just melt into the floor for a moment and really feeling into the legs here now, feeling into both sides. Noticing sensation through the legs, and through the hips and through the pelvis. Good. And then drawing the feet together, come onto your elbows just to help press yourself up. You can move the strap aside. And then open the feet wide in front of you. Use your hands for support to just press yourself up. And just moving here into the beginning of a squat pose, just to begin with, up on the toes. And just feeling your way into waking up the feet and the toes and the ankles. Maybe moving from side to side, just continuing to wake up the feet and the toes. And then eventually, if it's in your practice, allowing your heels to drop down onto the ground. So you're in this squatting position. And if that's not available, then just continuing to stay up on the toes, using the support of the hands if you need to. And if you're down in your squat, you'll be bringing your hands together per position. And again here, drawing your tailbone down towards the ground. Really feel how that activates down through the root, down through your pelvic floor. And feeling your feet just continuing to activate and press down into the ground. And taking a few breaths here, landing in your squat pose. Continuing to feel the legs activated as you press the feet down into the ground. And draw your tailbone down. And deeply breathe. And then bringing the hands down to the ground. Releasing your head down towards the ground, start to lift your hips up towards the sky. And widen your stance if you need to. You're going to bring your hands around the back of the head, so gently guiding your head down towards the ground. And then pressing the feet into the ground. Roll our way upwards, pressing into the feet to support your way up, rounding all the way up through the spine. And then relaxing your arms down by your side and stepping the feet in so the feet are hip-width distance apart. And just feeling into our basic Tadasana mountain pose. So the feet hip-width distance. And you might really feel differently now through the legs, now that we've really charged them up. Notice how this feels to just stand here on the ground, connected and charged up through those channels of the legs. Drawing the shoulders back. And then draw the heels out just an inch or two so that your feet are pigeon-toed, so slightly turning in towards each other. We're going to play with that same sensation of straightening and bending and using the ground to energize and activate that energy in the legs. You can just bring your hands right on your hips. And we'll start by inhaling to bend the knees. So the torso stays nice and straight, but we'll inhale and just bend the knees, and there's a relaxing that happens on the inhale. And on your exhale, press into the feet, press into the outer edges of the feet so you feel like you're pressing out and away and down into the ground to come up. Inhale to bend the knees. There's a release and a letting go here. Drawing the energy up, and then exhale. Press down through the feet, press through the outer edges of the feet, press away. Maybe feeling that trembling again through the legs. It's a lot of work, right? And then inhaling, feel that release. Exhale, pressing away. To straighten. And again, don't straighten, don't lock the knees out, just slight micro bend in the knees to come up. A couple more, inhaling. Just play around with this a little bit. Inhaling, you might feel that flow of energy upwards through the legs. Exhaling, pressing down. Let's take one more inhale. Feel that release, that that moving of energy up. Exhale, active, pressing down and away. Very nice. And then bring the feet closer together here, pointing forward. And we're going to step the right foot back and come into our warrior two position. And we'll continue to play around with that activation in the legs. So bring the arms out to the side. And you want to feel that your feet again are going to be pressing into the mat, like you're trying to lengthen your mat with your feet. You're going to bring the arms out. And same thing here, same principle. We're going to inhale to bend. So find that nice big stance. Adjust if you need to so you can sit down as low as you can through this warrior pose. And first just find your warrior one. Hold for a moment. Feel the activation of the feet and the legs. Take an inhale breath. With your exhale, press away and straighten. And feel like you're activating through both legs. It's very active. Inhale to bend the knee. Exhale. And really pressing away. And again, you might feel that trembling happening in the legs. Inhale. Exhale, press through the back feet. Charge it up. Hug everything in. Inhale. Feel that release, that that grounded. Exhale, charging up. Take one more inhale.
Create that resistance as you come up. Good. Let's do the other side. Bring hands to hips. Rotate. Right toes out, left toes in. Bend the right knee. Get down into that warrior two. Torso stays straight in the center. Bring the arms out to a T. Good. And then take your big inhale breath. Draw that energy. Imagine you're drawing it up through the legs. That energy coming up from the ground. And then exhale, pressing that energy, pressing down into the ground, pressing down through both feet. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Draw the energy up. Exhale. Press down through the feet. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Great. Bring the hands back to your hips. Heel toe the feet in, a couple of inches. Jump, hop your feet back together. And then come back up to the top of the mat. Good. So we're all charged up now, right through the legs, really feeling all that energy. Bringing it up and in, and let's flow now through a series of postures. This is more of a lunar salutation flow. The feet hip width distance apart here. Deep breath. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, draw the arms behind the back. So the fingertips facing up. Bring your hands on your lower back. Create a slight backward bend, gazing up. And then exhale, bend the knees. Release all the way down towards the ground. Release your arms down, palms up, just receiving here, hanging down, relaxing the head, neck. Inhale, bring the arms down, around, and up. Exhale, bring the hands down through your heart center. Good, and release hands down. Hands to hips, take a big step back with your right foot. Coming into triangle position on this side with straight legs. Bring the arms out to a T. Stretch over your left fingertips. Get long through the torso. Exhale, release the hands, rotate, look up towards your right fingertips. Triangle pose here. See if this feels different. Maybe the legs here feeling more rooted, more grounded, more energized. More of a foundation for your body. As you create that nice length through your torso, breathing in, breathing out. Good, and release both hands down. Step your back foot in a couple of inches. The foot is at 45 degrees. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, and release. And just lengthen forward. Keeping the two hips square, feeling the connection down through the feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step your back foot back so the ball of the foot is on the floor, coming into low lunge, dropping the knee, dropping the foot. Inhale, bring the arms up. Hug your inner thighs into center, press the back shin into the ground. Inhale, gaze up. And exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, frame the foot. We're going to rotate into the side runner's lunge, so facing the side of the mat, your right foot flexed, left knee bent, and staying here, or bringing your left hand on the ground, just anchoring your left knee and stretching your right arm up. Taking an easy twist here, opening and rotating your chest up towards the sky. Then bringing the right hand down and very slowly walking the hands in towards the center of the body. Let's just flow here for a moment. So allowing the hands, like you're creating these figure eights on the ground underneath you. Letting the head and the neck relax. Moving slowly and now just enjoying some fluidity of movement. Feeling that foundation of the legs. And then coming all the way over to the left side. And squatting down. Flexing your left foot, bring your right hand in, anchor against the right knee, and inhale, open. And breathe. And release. Left hand down. And then rotate around so you're facing the back of the mat, back foot in, or back foot on the ground, back knee on the ground, coming into low lunge this side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hug the hips in, so the hips stay square, hug everything into center. So you're not going for dropping down as far as you can, but really shoring everything up, hugging everything in, opening up through the chest. And then bringing the hands down to frame the foot. Step the back foot in about 45 degrees. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Good, and then coming into triangle this side, dropping your right hand to your right shin, stretching your left arm up. You can widen the step if you need to create that big, expansive energy through your torso as you root and ground down through the legs and feet. And breathe, a couple deep breaths here. And release the hands down to frame the foot. Now step your right foot back into a plank. Lower down onto your knees. And we're going to stretch the arms forward, coming into puppy pose. So the hips stay up towards the sky here. Dropping the forehead down and stretching the arms out in front of you. Lengthening now through the lower back. Breathing deeply, letting the forehead rest so you feel the support of the ground here. And then coming forward into Sphinx Pose, coming down onto your forearms, dropping the legs down onto the ground, letting the legs be wide, pressing the hips down into the ground, pressing the feet down into the ground. Breathing. Sending the chest forward, pressing down through the hips, continuing to pull the lower belly up and in so the tailbone again can release down towards the ground.
facing. Bring your hands in onto the mat, lift up, come onto all fours, and then press up, downward facing dog. And just play here for a few moments. Walking one heel, then the other. Take it wide if you like. Breathe deeply here. Feeling that nice big stretch through your whole spine. And then bringing the feet hip width distance and just walking the feet up. So you're facing the back of the mat. And relax your head and neck down. Hang here for a moment. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And exhale, the hands down through the heart center. Good, and bring hands to hips. And then again, step the right foot back. So now we'll be facing the other direction, moving into triangle this side. So the arms out to a T, stretch out through the left fingertips. And bring the left hand to the shin, look up. Deep breath. And release the right hand down, frame the foot, step the back foot in. Pyramid pose, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hang. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step the right foot back, come onto the back knee for low lunge. Back foot down, inhale, arms up. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, bring the hands down. And then pivoting to face the back. So the right heel flexed. And if you'd like to take the twist, left hand down, right arm up. Bringing the hands down and then walking through center. And again, you can take those figure of eights with your hands. And then coming down all the way to the right. Flex the foot. Inhale, stretch the left arm up towards the sky. And release. Turn to now facing forward. Low lunge, inhale, arms up. Bring the hands down, step the back foot in, pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen. You can step that back foot a little bit back to come into your triangle pose. Right hand to right shin, stretch the left arm up. Deep breath. And release, left hand down. Good. Step the foot back, downward facing dog. And then look forward. Just step the feet forward so that you're sitting, and then bring the feet out in front of you. You can grab your block here. Just gonna take one forward fold here.
with the legs extended. So extend the legs out in front of you. Take an inhale breath and lengthen your spine. And then exhale. And just coming into your forward fold. And if you have a block handy, it can be nice to use your block to support yourself. So bringing the block high or low, and then just finding that nice spot where you can support yourself in your forward fold. Maybe palms up so that you can settle here. And coming back into that sense of grounding. So we started with a lot of grounding. We brought that energy and charge into the legs. And then we move through a bit of a flow, using the support, using that energy from the ground to create some fluidity in the body, and now returning back to the ground. Letting yourself completely relax now into your forward fold. Feeling the weight of your body and the weight of your head down towards the ground. And letting the back of the neck soften. Back of the body round. Relaxing through the feet and the legs. And just starting to soften all of that charge through the legs, through the lower body. And releasing your block if you've got it. Take an inhale breath, lengthen through the spine to come up, and then just bring the feet out so the feet are on the ground. Stretch the arms forward and lie all the way down onto your back, taking our final moment here in Savasana. Taking some long, deep breaths here. Just feeling into the legs, noticing quality of sensation in the legs, letting the legs completely soften now and be held again, supported by the ground. Feel those points of contact again with the shoulders, the hips, the heels. And for this last moment, see how deeply you can release and surrender down towards the ground, feeling that moment of complete release now, of surrender.
feeling held, feeling supported by the ground underneath you. And staying here longer if you'd like, but to close our practice, bringing the knees into chest and just letting the knees drop over to the right, relaxing your cheek on your cheek on your arm, breathing here for a moment, and as you're ready, gently guiding yourself back up to seated to close your practice. Guiding your hands to your heart center, dropping your chin into your chest, bowing your head to your heart. And just taking a moment to integrate your yoga practice today. Feeling into all of that grounding we experienced in our practice. And honoring and acknowledging yourself for taking the time to anchor yourself into the space of your own body today. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your week ahead. Namaste.